Hello, it's Evie. Today's been busy. It's been good. I went and saw the Grandboys, and I did get some stuff filmed. I try to film from two different directions so I don't get their faces in one direction, and I haven't even looked at it yet. I know the one I was filming for their parents, the oldest one climbed up on the couch, and this was an old phone I was recording on, and so it's recording from the back camera toward the table, and he's on the couch, and he grabs it and he goes, roar. And I'm like, you're on the wrong side of the camera. That's not recording anything. Anyhow, he ended up turning the camera off, and I don't even remember what point that was. I didn't know it was off, so we'll see how much I got out of that footage. I gotta let the dog in. Okay, so when I go over there with a little project, the oldest one that's 5 always says, how old do you have to be for this? Which I think is adorable. And if I can't find an age on the box or packaging, I'll say, it just says that Grammy has to help with it. Well, actually, I think I said that once, which was the last time. It was some washable paint markers. And I don't think it said the age on there. So I just made it up. Yeah, I mean, made up saying you just have to have Grammy help you. So we're working on these little birdhouse wind chime things. And I've got everything pulled out of the box and I'm opening up the packages. And the oldest one says, so how old do you have to be to do these? And I said, oh, I don't know. I said, grab the box out of the trash and bring it to me and I'll read it. And he grabs the box out of the trash and I can see it's in a drawer. I can see he's pulled the big drawer open and he's, oh, it says you just have to have Grammy help you with it. I said, perfect. And so I had my big drink, you know, the stainless steel cup with the big straw out of it. And they've never done this before. The older one grabs it off the kitchen counter and he goes, that's good. And he goes, again. Then here comes the 3-year-old. So he hands it to the 3-year-old and he does the same thing. Oh, that is so good. And I said, that's black cherry. And this is what it is. It's a sugar-free black cherry lemonade by True Lime. And it is. It's very good, but I make it very weak. It's for one bottle, and I usually, do fill almost a 32-ounce pitcher with one of these. So it's weaker, but it still tastes good. And the older one says, oh, I can't wait till I'm old enough to drink these. And I'm like, buddy, you just drank some. But I did tell their mom, and she said they have this, but they just like gulp, just keep gulping, gulping, gulping. So she gives them a lot of just water. When my kids were little, we had the frozen juice, the concentrate cans in the freezer. That's where you keep frozen juice, right? And I would take the can of juice, and then instead of 3 cans of water, I think is what it was supposed to be, I put in 4. Then when I put it in their sippy cups, I put half juice and half water. So they got more water than they did the juice. I think that was like, before everybody was, sugar's bad. And sugar is bad, but it's bad if you are eating it and drinking it all the time. I don't think it's bad once in a while, especially for the little ones that kind of run it off. Anyway, last night, my sister calls me. She lives in Florence, Oregon. If you can hear that little ting noise, that is one of my birds playing with the side of her cage. And they come out at 4 o'clock and it's almost 3:30. Just trying to hurry and get this done. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, I'm so sorry that lawnmower started. Oh, I'm sorry, my AC's on. And there goes my phone. If I waited for absolute silence to record something, I wouldn't be able to record. It just doesn't happen in my house. If the noises bother you, I apologize, but there's really nothing I can do about it. We'll let them out at 4 o'clock. My sister that lives in Florence, Oregon, called me last night, and it was probably about, I think it was around 8:30. So she's 2 hours earlier on the West Coast than I am here in Texas. Oh my gosh, it was so heart-wrenching. They were having the tsunami warning and they were going to have to evacuate. And she was scared. She was basically calling to say goodbye. Oh, I can't tell you how that made me feel. But I told her I would pray for her. That's what she asked for. And I did. Everything was fine. Everything is fine. Today we had a long conversation talking about childhood fights, sneaking out, skipping school, getting kicked out of school, all the things. And it was really a great conversation. The hour just flew by, which is why I was late coming on here. Apparently I'm getting some messages. I'm so sorry for the noise. Just kidding. So I got a new bulb, and it's the candelabra thread. You know, it's the tiny one, but it's tall. So you can actually see the white light coming out here. So I don't know if the night light was better or not. I really don't. I mean, does it really matter? Probably not. I did end up checking my phone. I got like 6 messages in a row, and I didn't know if it was SOS, SOS. No, we're going to redo the shower in the bathroom. And it was my husband sending me pictures for different faucet controllers. Anyway, I'm not near as picky about the faucet controller as I am the head. That's the important part. You know those spam emails, phone calls, and text messages we all get? Most of them don't bother me. I got one yesterday that really bothered me. And up at the top where it tells you what number it supposedly came from, it's a Florida area code. The number they want me to call, no wait, maybe I've got them mixed up. One is Florida and one is Michigan. It says, "Dear customer, your card was used for $999 US for an iPhone 16 Pro smartphone. Need help? Contact support at." No, of course I didn't call them. That's what the message looks like. So all I did was check my bank, and I checked it yesterday. That was yesterday at 2:30, and I checked again this morning. There's nothing. So tempting to call one of those numbers, but no, that's the last thing you want to do. I had my identity stolen 3 times in the early 2000s. The first time being the worst. The first time I knew there was a problem, I got a call at work about someone trying to purchase a piano with my card. And was it actually me purchasing it? No, that's not me. So started doing, digging into what was going on. And there was a lot. I ended up with 3 cell phone accounts in California. I ended up with power in my name, a landline in my name. And as a matter of fact, it even showed on my, where did I see that? I can't remember where I saw it, but it showed that I worked for a towing company in California. And, I was on the same job at that point since 1993. So this was, if it was 2003, I mean, that had been a significant amount of time. And I haven't had a California address for a really long time. Anyway, it became a horrible, horrible nightmare because I couldn't keep up with all the things, all these bills that were coming in my name. There was one from Best Buy where the people went in one day and bought some power cords for a computer, and it went through for them. So they went back the next day and bought the whole computer and the monitor and all this stuff. It became very, very hard to shop, ruined my credit for quite a while because I refused to pay that stuff off to correct my credit. I did a police report on it, and I felt like not a lot was done. It was just recorded. Well, now when I got the phone bill, I had some phone numbers to investigate, and I can't remember the last name, but the first name was Erica. I had a name, first and last name, and a picture of her. So I brought it down to the police station. And they're like, oh, okay, well, thank you very much. I contacted the, the Federal Trade Commission and sent them the information I had. And this was early in the year, like maybe springtime. And by the end of the year, I finally did get a confirmation that the girl had been arrested. There were 7 people living in one house in California, and they had a notebook that had the identities of 7 different people with social security numbers and everything right in this notebook. And I was one of them. So I followed up on it, and they said, well, we couldn't hold her because she didn't have any of the stuff that she'd bought under your name. So when this kind of stuff happens, completely unnerves me, even though nothing has happened in many, many years. Anyway, we're trying to pick out a faucet for the bathroom, so I probably better go because he keeps sending me pictures and he has questions. And I want to look at the footage I got from the little kids today. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.